So welcome to Game Plan Sunday. Today is August 9. We're going to take a look at the market, what occurred over the past week, take a look at the future so we can see what's coming down the pipeline and put together our strategy, our game plan, right? So shout out to everybody who's been active on the website. You know, this week was actually pretty lit in the markets. As you guys know, you can see right here, we got the chat room popping right here. When you go to the website, okay, chat room, bingo, it's right there. So you can just jump into the action right there. So shout out to the crew that's been out there, you know, getting those plays. And when you come to the website, got lots of activity that's up in here. But let's take a look at what happened over the past week. So we did have some economic data that popped over last week. Let me pull up the calendar real quick. So, and again, for you guys who haven't used the calendar yet, if you haven't used the calendar yet, make sure you come over here, check out the calendar. I like to look at the monthly view. It's just easy for me to capture it all in one glimpse. So we're going to do it just like that. So, yeah, last week, here we go. Bingo. Just, you know, you can go back to what happened last week. We had pretty strong manufacturing data last week. We had the PMI numbers that came out better than expected. You guys already know anything above 50 is showing that the economy is growing. So again, looking at economic data, we had strong economic data last week, which was good. That was good. Okay, so the PMI came out. That did pretty good. We had earnings last week, and the earnings was actually pretty solid as well. So earnings was looking good. We had the job numbers that came out last week as well. And so job numbers were looking good as well, right? So we had the ADP numbers that came out. And then on Friday, we had the employment situation that came out, right? And all of this is posted on the site. If you're in the news feed, you can actually take a look at those things. And I'll scroll through that here shortly. But basically, you know, it's been a while since we had, you know, good economic data, right? A lot of this stuff that's been pumping the markets has been hopes. But we finally are getting some good data, and that good data is coming because of the Fed intervention and the, you know, opening of the economy back up. So that's actually was looking pretty good for the PMI numbers, you know, which is a leading indicator, giving you insight into the future. However, we still have to pay attention to a couple of risks as far as, you know, shutting the economy back down and things of that nature. So that's something that we got to take a look at. I did throw in a little Samsung Galaxy Unpacked in the calendar, so because, you know, we saw Apple had a nice rally, and I'm not too sure if Apple had a rally because Samsung's Unpacked kind of sucked. I don't really know, but you can kind of make those correlations, you know. You know, and I'm a Samsung, you know, phone user. I really wasn't too impressed with this new series. The price point was a little high, you know, I think like $1,500 for a phone, $1,500. And in the middle of a pandemic, I think that, you know, those prices, they need to be deflated. But you know, we'll see how the market reacts when they release it and see how those sales go. And then Apple's getting ready to release theirs. So that was thrown in on the calendar as well. So it was on the front page when you showed up there. But yeah, that's pretty much was, you know, on the economic side. So we had great economic data, which is great finally. Unemployment numbers, you know, looking, you know, better. And then we had situations with Trump. So we had the situation with TikTok. Trump was actually, you know, getting ready to ban TikTok. He actually signed an executive order for that. But again, he's giving concessions about the situation because he's like, okay, well, if Microsoft will buy him out, then, hey, we'll let it slide, right? But China's highly offended by this whole situation, right? And you can obviously see why anybody would be you know, offended by it, because if you're going to ban them, you know, then just go ahead and ban them. But it's like, well, let America take over your company that you done built from the ground up, and it's so successful. It's probably going to be more successful than, you know, Snapchat or some of those other, you know, social media companies. And I don't get into this social media stuff. I'm not really into it. I don't even have a Snapchat, which I probably should. You know, my daughter keep on saying, let me make a Snapchat for you, Dad. I'm just not into it. You know, I'm not even actually, I don't even like being on camera, to be honest. So, but, you know, I think that it gives for a better experience when you know, on screen with your class and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I think that was interesting, you know. So he signed an executive order. They got a couple of days. I can't remember how many days. You guys remember how many days it is they got until Microsoft can take it over. And if they don't, then, you know, TikTok is going to be banned. Also, WeChat is going to be banned. You know, remember, the key is that we're at war with China. That hasn't changed. And so you're going to see more hostility towards China. In fact, I was watching was yesterday when Trump actually signed his executive order for the stimulus, because, you know, he's also got beef with the Democrats. So Democrats and Republicans, they're beefing over, you know, the stimulus package. And it was funny because Trump is a wild dude, man. He was calling the Democrats childish, but of course he had to throw his dirt on, on China. Of course, he's like, due to no fault of nobody's but China. China unleashed this deadly disease on the world. You know how Trump do. He be out there spazzing, man. But that was interesting. So, but yeah, so still no situation even on that. So Trump was just like, forget it. Because, I mean, you got to think about it. The election is less than 100 days, right? So all efforts is going to be to get Trump out of office, if you, coming from the Democratic side. And so, I mean, they're just really not in agreement on this whole stimulus situation. And, the Democrats, they just want the pain. They want people to feel a little pain, right? Because, I mean, it's going to be bad news for Trump. So Trump was like, nah, forget that. I'm about to sign an executive order, right? Now, the question remains, is his executive order really going to amount to anything, right? Because it's still got to get passed through Congress and everything, right? But it's interesting. One of the key notes that I can remember from listening to his speech, he was talking about, cutting the $600 down to $400, payments. And so if you guys remember, the reason why everything has been doing so good is because of, the Fed's stimulating the economy, pumping, the money and everything and the stimulus, and that extra $600, from people that's laid off. I was talking to my mom last night. She didn't even know. She was like, what? I was like, yeah. People getting extra $600 a week on top of the unemployment benefits. So that actually, people are making more money being unemployed. So employers are having a tough time, a really difficult time getting, their employees back. Employees are actually cursing them out like, yo, don't call me again. I don't know. Don't bring me back to work. OK, it's going to cost me more money to go to work. I'm making more money sitting at home. B. Click. That's what's happening in real life. Right. And so you can't have an economy if you don't have productivity. So production is going down, right? So, I mean, this is just, it's the nightmare. So that's why I'm telling you guys, we're actually going through a Great Depression because the stimulus is actually not even really stimulating. It's just preventing people from feeling the pain today, kicking the can down the road, for some time in the future that you're going to we still have to deal with it. Also, from my understanding is that Trump is trying to get the states to back 25% of this bill that he signed. And I'm trying to figure out where in the hell is the state's going to get the money from. The state's broke. So I'm just kind of confused with where they're going to get that from. So that just makes things very interesting. And, is his cut going to be anything to actually stimulate anything? I mean, stopping people from getting evicted out of their homes. I think that, definitely you don't want to have millions of people getting evicted. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, he's going to try to step in and try to, make that situation happen. So, again, it's still a nightmare. It's a mess. And, all I can tell people is that you need to prepare for survival. Even though you've been getting all this stimulus money, you need to be saving. America has no savings. That's why we're in this situation we're in now. We haven't had savings. And so getting that money is not an incentive to go out and spend. You need to start preparing because the recession is not over. We're in a depression. And so there's more pain to come and there's more risk and volatility. So we'll talk about some of that here in a second. Elder says ByteDance has until September 15 to sell to U.S. operators. Okay, so ByteDance as well. Yeah, okay, cool. Thanks, Terrence, for the shirt. Bingo. Yep, got the Greeks on there. Speaking of shirts, make sure y'all cop the mask. You know what I'm saying? We got the mask popping off right here. You know what I'm saying? Bongo, got me out here looking like Fauci. I'm in the store with the Wall Street Jackboyz mask on like that. You feel me? Make sure y'all get the face mask right on the website, Yeah, but anyway, make sure you cop the face mask. And if you're on the website, all you got to do is click on this little button up here with the little three dots right there, and you'll open up the merch. Open up the merch right there. Bingo, you take yourself to the store. All right, cool. So that was everything that's popping last week. What we got coming down the pipeline this week? Look like we got some GDP numbers, Red Book numbers, CPI number, which is inflation. So we'll get some information on inflation. Let me actually dial in here a little bit. All right, cool. Petroleum status numbers, PPI number, that's production inflation. So we're taking a look at, consumer price inflation and producer inflation on Wednesday. How about Thursday? What I got in here, import-export numbers. We got the unemployment insurance weekly claims. Now, it looks like actually more people are actually going back into layoff status. And so, again, we got to make sure, see if these numbers are going to be going into the right direction or they're reversing. Last time we checked, it looked like these numbers are reversing from good to bad, meaning that more people are actually out of work. That's not good for the economy, of course. So Thursday, we'll be paying attention to that. And again, you can click on the events in the calendar to get more information on these things, but you can just look at here quickly and see what time they're released and all of that. And then when you can actually go to the source itself, you don't have to actually go to any paid subscription for all this data and stuff. We're actually providing this information free on the website. So you have that. I've been busy, y'all. Y'all know I've been busy trying to build this stuff up for you guys. And then Friday is actually pretty light. This is today. Let me see. Yeah, this is Friday. Okay, Friday. So Friday's pretty light. As far as earnings go, earnings is like interesting too. So earnings this week, I know we got weed stocks for y'all weed traders out there, like those weed stocks. The weed stocks is going to be in focus this week. We got some Chinese stocks is going to be in focus this week. Some biotech stocks as well. So you got canopy growth. So again, all you got to do is hover over the earnings situation here. And I got it parsed from AM to PM sessions. So canopy growth, you got the Royal Caribbean Cruise, Marriott, which are travel companies. It's interesting to see how they're going to do. Duke Energy, and then also the miners. So we got the miners. And there's a big week for the miners this past week, right? Gold, silver, crazy highs. We'll take a look at those as well. But we got the miners. They're going to be in focus this week as well. So weed stocks, some miners, some Chinese stocks. PM session, Tilray, all right? So you got Tilray that's going to be reporting, Novavax, Occidental Petroleum, Tencent Music. Tencent is a big Chinese company. So they're going to be in focus as well. Let's go to the next day. Canada Goose Holdings, right? Again, you got the weed stocks that's going to be in play. Really, nothing else really. Super League Gaming, right? So I think the sports situation is all over the headlines right now. So I think that's a big thing as well. What's happening with sports, which I'm not a big sports player. So I like to play, but I don't actually like to watch sports. Sorry, fellas. And I don't like playing sports video games. My kids, they like playing that Madden and that NBA 2K. You can't get me on there because I'm just not, I can't sit still long enough. I just, hurt everybody, make everybody lose. But I like to play basketball and football in real life. That's what I like to do. But I do know there's some headlines about the sports situations, about, the ratings are down, and, like some places are shutting down. I don't really know what's going on. You guys keep us informed about that. But I think that's interesting to see how the sports is doing, and they're opening back up. But, who knows how long this is going to play out, or if it's going to get better or worse. But I think that's going to be a focus. Jumia Technology. So where my man Ron at? Ron. Okay, so Ron is up in here. Mark is, the OGs is up in here tonight. So y'all remember Jumia? This is a company we called out when it first dropped. And this is something that we always, everybody focused on. It was dirt cheap, but this is the Amazon of Africa, right? Bingo. This is like the Amazon of Africa. It's actually like a German-owned company, right? But this one right here was killing crazy. I think Ron was like, was it like a couple of weeks ago, Ron? What, maybe 2-3 weeks ago? It started like just jumping, right? And it's been killing it. So anyway, their earnings is going to be this week. And let's take that out of there real quick. All right, cool. And then we got Cisco, we got Smile Direct, we got Wheaton Precious Metals, right? So that's your, bingo, silver, right? So you play silver, that's the name. So they're going to be out reporting as well. And let's go to the next day. On the 13th, we got NetEase. I mean, it's going to be pretty light. NetEase, AM session, Applied Materials, Baidu is going to be a main focus. The rest of the names are really weak. So, and then as you get closer to Friday, it gets really weak, basically. Friday. In fact, we don't even have anything in a PM session for Friday. So, be an early day. Everybody can get to their weekends quick. We got DraftKings. Again, that's a play off the sports situation. DraftKings is going to be on Friday. That's pretty much everybody. I think everybody's going to be focused on here. So that's what's coming down the pipeline this week. Let me go back over to the news feed. Bio still just signed Patrick Mahomes. Okay, great for okay, cool. You know, I think I saw The Rock, right? The Rock is supposed to be buying the XFL. I thought that was pretty interesting. Like if he can get some partners in there, they can really do. I always kind of like the XFL. I thought it was like just more exciting than NFL. I don't really know. It's just, you know, like that water boy situation, you know what I'm saying? It's not just tackle somebody, it's just drop kick somebody in their head. I like that kind of stuff. So, you know, mix a little bit of UFC with the football and I'm with it. All right. So also here on the website, I don't know if anybody's been focusing on, you know, catching some really nice plays and fundamentals. I'm going to go to the group over here. You know, we got the groups over here. Last week, it was showing you guys the Think Script group so you can get some fly indicators in your platform. And then, you know, I had a little bit of time to drop some focus over in the fundamental analysis group. So when you get to the fundamentals group over here, it's a couple of resources trying to, you know, equip you guys with a couple of insights that I may see here and there. You know, I'm actually just plugging you guys in with that. So all you got to do is go to the group itself. If you're not a part of the group, then just, you know, make sure you submit your request to join. And again, it's free, of course. But yeah, so I got a scanner here. If you guys is looking for certain type of stocks and stuff like that, you know, you're looking for some long-term plays, bingo, you got resources like that that's in here. I was taking a look at, you know, doing some scans here over the week, and then I saw some great opportunities in the solar stocks. So you'll see stuff like this, you know, and then, you know, we'll actually just post some things in the chat. So some things we'll post in the chat, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So anyway, certain watch lists and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested in that type of stuff, you know, let me know. Again, you know, we have so much on this site that I've been building, and I got to see how you guys are going to use it so I know where to take it to. Okay. Because there's so much that I can do. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we got the Zoom situation. I know you guys like Zoom. You know, we got our own platform in here, but I know you guys like the Zoom, so we can do Zoom conference meetings, coaches and stuff like that. But also, let me show you this real quick in the chat room. And again, Ron, I hope you don't mind. Let me pull up our side chat real quick because I just want to show everybody something real quick. Ain't really nothing too private in here, but let's just go right here because I just want to show you guys that we have video calling on the website right here. So if you need any support, right, you know, from me directly, I mean, you can just call me up, call me up right there, bingo. So we can do a video call right on the website. You can also do video calls with your peers. All you guys got to do is just join the chat room, and then you be in there. You can do video calls with each other. Just hit the button. It'll send the link to the person that you're communicating with. And if you want, you know, to participate in the video call, all you have to do is click on that link, and you're going to be doing a video call the same way you do on Facebook. So remember, we don't need Facebook anymore. I'm trying to get you guys over on the site every day. Facebook is whack. Facebook is played out. I don't know what else to tell you guys. You got a whole bunch of people that talk about it, but they are not all about it on Facebook. I could see hundreds of people from the groups on Facebook looking at posts and not responding, not asking questions, not sharing, not liking. And so you have just a bunch of people that's speculating. And then you also have some other people that's in there trying to steal and poach your talent, you know, people, oh, come do Forex, oh, come do crypto, come do all this blah, blah, blah. So you got a whole bunch of, you know, group jackers, and they come in there and start to distract people. We don't have all that here on our website. So again, I'm trying to get you guys to come to the website because we got everything we need right here. And you guys, it's not all about me. You guys can post in the news feed, your timelines and all of that great stuff. So, you know, just definitely want to, you know, encourage you guys to start using this stuff. But as economic data and stuff like that is pouring out, like you guys can access it right here on the website. So I just hope you guys know that. Thanks, Ron and John. Yeah, cool, fire. All right, cool. So with that being said, let's actually jump to the charts real quick. All right, cool. So here we at right now. Futures markets is slightly down right now. Let's go to yellow real quick. All right, so futures markets is down right now. John, this is what I'll be looking at right here, right? So before the markets open, I'm right here looking at the futures, the S&P 500 right there, they're down -8 points. The NASDAQ is down 37 points. The Russell is down 4 points. The Dow is down 69, okay? Gold is down also 5.9, and then silver is slightly down, just by, you know, not even a whole point yet, actually. So silver is actually doing pretty good, okay? And actually, speaking of silver and gold, let's just go ahead and kick it off with silver and gold, because I know a lot of people got a lot of questions about silver and gold. So we're going to go ahead and go to silver and gold. Let's go to gold. All right. So gold had a phenomenal week. Silver had an even better week. Okay. So this is what we're looking at. My levels here, you see gold started blowing through. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this level because we already breached that level. We blew through it. And so what you'll see happen here, you see price come up and then it hit this level and then it says, okay, let's take a breather. So now it's breathing. This is what we call a pullback. So this doesn't mean that you short. It could be a short, but the trend itself is still bullish. So because the trend is bullish, I'm not shorting. I don't think this is the time to short. I don't think this is the time to sell. However, there are some people that are antsy about taking profits. And so I believe that we got some antsy, profit taking right up here, which is fine, right? I had one of my homeboys call me up. He's like, hey, I'm getting ready to sell. This is probably on like Tuesday or so. He's like, hey, I'm getting ready to sell. Before I do so, what is your outlook? And so I gave him my outlook, and I'm gonna tell you guys my outlook here again as well. So because he didn't sell, he was able to rally up even higher. Okay, he's able to rally up even higher. And so again, gold pulling back to the mean. You see this non-moving average is the mean. All right. So you see that line, price normally sticks right there and travel right up on top of it. It may pull away, but it comes back. So it pulls away in a strong move. It comes back. All right. It comes back. So we're just seeing it come back, which is what we've been waiting for the past 2 weeks, but we were not able to get it. So it looks like we're finally able to get some kind of a pullback. And so ideally we want to see it pull back, right about here, and then start to, chop around sideways to give us a little more confirmation that, hey, this is the next floor before the next leg goes up again. But that will be a re-up spot. All right. So that means, it's not, hey, sell out. It's add more. Okay. Right up in there, add more. So that's what I would be like. That's what I'm actually looking at. Let me actually cover silver real quick. And then let me just stay on gold real quick. All right. So let me actually just show you guys this real quick. Okay. The banks have this target on gold at $3,000 target. Okay. So we are not there yet. We got a long way to go. Okay. So you have a lot of old school guys that's into the gold markets and silver markets and things like that. But, I've been studying this for a little while, and I've noticed there's a lot of differences in between from the last, bull markets and gold and silver from this time. So let me just reiterate a little bit for you guys so you understand. My trading strategy is not just technicals alone. I like stories and technicals and all the stars coming in alignment to make my decisions. Sometimes I don't need all of that, but it actually makes things make sense. And so it just gives you confidence in your position so you know what you're doing. So therefore, it's no question about when you sell, when you get in, and when you get out. You know what time it is. So because of my story here, okay, we know what the technicals are. We have the charts right here in front of us, which is great. And we also have the bank's target of $3,000. Well, what's happening with the economy, right? So what's happening with the economy? Okay. I'm using the Wall Street Jackboyz moving average, the custom one from the site. So you guys already know, if you click right up here, well, now we got this new thing that's in the way, but as I hover, you can see in this bar, pretty much what I'm using, and you can go in there and customize. So just go to the elite class on the website, and then you get the whole setup if you want to set it up yourself, or you can just use the Wall Street Jackboyz indicator that I'm using where all my moving averages are here, a little customization there. But so anyhow, what we may be seeing right now, what I believe is that we're just seeing a pullback, and the gold market and silver market is in much need of a pullback. So this is healthy. This is a healthy pullback. But if you sell all your stats right now, which is, hey, it's up to you if you do so. But I believe that you would be selling off too early. This is where, the banks are targeting. Okay. This is what the target they have on gold. Now you got to understand why. Why is that the case? Because the Fed policy, none of it is working. Okay. None of it will work. And the only thing that it can do at this point is to print money. If something's wrong over here, print money. Something's wrong over here, print money. Somebody's happy, who cares? Give them more money. The only thing they can do is print money right now. I mean, cutting interest rates is no longer working. They're trying not to even go negative interest rates, right? And so they can't even raise interest rates. And see, now, so this is the thing. If the Feds raise interest rates, then gold will sell off, right? But why would they raise interest rates when they're trying to stimulate the economy? They cannot raise interest rates right now, okay? So because they can't do that, bingo, that's the long-term trajectory. So although you were not able to get in back here, back here after the crash, where we were able to identify this zone, right? We was able to identify this zone way back here. I mean, you definitely sitting at some good profits. So you don't really have to fall in love. You could just trim some off the top right up here. If that's what you want to do. Hey, I'm going to trim some off the top. That's cool. But I wouldn't sell the whole stash. Trim some off the top if you're just, eager to just, capture some profits, and that's fine. But the big move hasn't came yet. So that big move is just, I don't even think that big move is it. I think there's more to gold after even that. So, but that's the situation with that, right? So the Feds, they can't lower interest rates anymore to do any kind of stimulus. Nothing they can do to stimulate was just print money. And so the more they print the money, the more they're going to devalue the currency until the currency itself gets destroyed. It will basically ultimately destroy the dollar. They're going to create some new currencies, probably going to be some kind of cryptocurrency for you crypto lovers out there. I don't think it's going to be Bitcoin. I think they're going to make a digital dollar. That's what I think. Now they can go back to gold standard, but I just can't see them going to honest money, right? I just can't really see it. And I don't care if it's Trump or anybody else, all these politicians, I don't think that they are man enough to go to honest money. So I think that they're going to do something that they can control. As you already know, China already has this Chinese renminbi, the digital renminbi, which is backed by gold. So that's the case for gold also. So although they're not using gold for transactions, they're using it to back their digital currency. And I think that's a pretty bold move, right? So that's why a lot of gold has already been bought up, because, they're backing this digital currency by gold. And so if China is moving in that way, China's already pretty much 5-10 years ahead of America, right? They already have cashierless stores and all this other stuff. So they're going to a cashless society. They already have a cashless society in China now. You show up there trying to pay with cash, they will laugh you out of the store. Like, you can't do that, B. Everybody's using WeChat and all those social apps on the phones to make their transactions. And we're still trying to catch up. And you guys know I've been using digital. I haven't seen cash in maybe 3-4 years at least 3-4 years. I haven't seen, since Samsung Pay came out. I've been digital. I don't even know cash, right? So anyhow, I just think about it from that perspective, that I believe that that's the reason we'll go that way, because China also has their social scoring system. If you don't know nothing about that, basically, they can control their society. They can engineer society and reward good behavior and punish bad behavior. Everybody's on Facebook dropping crazy stuff. Well, in the social apps over there, you dropping crazy stuff over there, the government will ban you from using public transportation, which nobody really has cars over there. You need public transportation, blah, blah, blah. So it's a way for them to control society, right? You have to go digital. You can control the digital world, but you can't control my silver, my gold. You can't do that. You can't control it, right? You don't even know about it unless I tell you about it, unless I show you, right? But with digital, it's all in the digital ledger somewhere. They can go in there, can control it, turn it off, and this, that, and the third. So that's why I am not about, the whole crypto situation. I think that people can get into it if you want, but eventually it's going to be a control mechanism, and it's going to basically usher us into a full-blown socialism. Socialist society. It's going to, the $600 payments we're doing right now, to me, I believe that this is, them testing this universal basic income. The odds are against Trump winning right now. You got Joe Biden, who's pretty much in favor of winning the election. And a lot of the Democrats is move really far left. But if you're a student of economics, then one of the things that you need to know is that what we're going through right now is not nothing actually brand new. This stuff has been happening over and over and over again. Socialism versus capitalism has been the thing for decades, right? It's always been coming up over and over again. But if you understand what the socialist agenda is, the socialists believe that capitalism is flawed and that it needs to be modified. So it needs to be modified so it works for the people. And they believe that modification is socialism. Right. So they believe that from barter system to capitalism, and then from capitalism capitalism is good until, the rich is too rich, and then the poor is not, they're not getting a piece of the pie. So now we need to fix it and make everybody equal. So then, you morph into socialism. So that's like the overall theme of what socialists believe, that they can create a utopia society where everybody can be equal, this, that, and the third. but it restricts the freedom of the citizens. And I don't want to get too much into economics because I'll talk y'all head off tonight. But the fact, I was talking to my son last night and I said, son, he was asking me about socialism, capitalism. And I say, son, he was like, well, everybody should be equal, right? And that makes sense for a child to even think that way. Even myself, you would think, okay, that makes sense. Everybody be equal, right? But in order to do that, you have the government to control what everybody can do, what everybody like. And there can never be equality because we all have freedom, right? So because we have freedom, that's the beautiful thing. That's why there's only one dream in the world. It's the American dream. Everybody's coming here because it's the American dream. You have freedom. Now, you're not totally free, but you got more freedom than everybody else. But so what if, in order to create an equal society, I told my son, hey, son, and no offense to anybody if you're big bone or anything like that, but I said, son, what if I said that you have to like fat girls? Right? I don't know what kind of girls a son like, right? But there's somebody for everybody. But what if I say you got to like fat girls because if you don't, their feelings are going to be hurt and we don't want them to be hurt. And so we need to make everybody equal. So you need to like fat girls, right? And how would you feel about that, right? Like, I wouldn't feel good about that. No, you wouldn't. So you have the right to like what you like. I don't know. You can like fat girls if you want. There's a lot of guys who like fat girls, like skinny girls, like whoever you want. It's the fact that we have the freedom to like what we want is the reason why there can never be equality. It's the reason why you guys are here tonight at Game Plan Sunday while other people are at the house watching TV, right? You can't have equality. We ain't here putting in work and you ain't here putting in work. Mike Jones had a song. He said, if you don't work, you don't eat, right? That's what he said, right? Y'all know if you don't work, you don't eat. Simple as that. So it can never be equality, right? It's just the way it is, and it's not designed to be that way. But that's how the markets work. So, but that's what everybody's trying to funnel in, right now. And so, and it's not that it's impossible to happen. It's just it's a system that will not sustain. It was something that just can't sustain. And so, but that's what you're going to have coming out. We have a lot of economists that's actually supporting the socialist agenda, right? Because it's saying, well, capitalism isn't working anymore for the people. So we need to fix it. So anybody say, hey, we need to go fix capitalism. These people are more than likely, supporting some form of socialism, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. And from my belief, I believe that we need more capitalism. We don't have enough capitalism. Some of the issues that they're complaining about is not from capitalism. It's actually from cronyism. It's from government intervention, right? It's from government controlling certain aspects in the market and giving protection for certain companies, right? Like if you want Verizon Fios where you live at, you probably can't get it where you live at. You have Spectrum or whoever the company is, they have a monopoly there, right? And because they're protected, and that's cronyism, right? It's not let down the borders and let everybody compete, right? So if you have a free market system, you'll get prices that'll go down. Everything will be much better. But we don't have a true free economy. It's a mixed market economy. So this is where a lot of the things are being muddied in the waters where people are not quite understanding how this stuff works. So, but if you guys have any questions about that type of stuff, I'll, love to be able to talk to you about it. I'm going to actually get us moving on because I know we're already here at time. So let me just pull up silver real quick, just to show you something real quick. And silver, again, the same way that gold is moving, having a nice little pullback right now. Somebody's asking me about the target in silver. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back 20 years, actually over 20 years. Let me go back. All right, let's go back to the 80s. And so this is what I was trying to show you guys in the group on the Facebook side. I don't know if you can see this or not. But here we go, silver way back here. So we talk about objectives. The market likes those previous highs. And so those are, psychological levels, okay? So we're dealing with humans as trading. These are psychological levels. So you can see here, 50, that's the target. We got right here the last time, it was at 2011, right? And this is where we are today. You are here. You ever see those little maps say you are here? This is where we are today. So we're already halfway through this move right now. Like we're actually really not far from this move again, right? And look how high we're starting off, right? We're starting from this rally here versus, from back here, or actually even back here. So the last rally started at a lower point and it made it all the way up to 50, right? We're actually starting higher than that. So let me actually tell you what I was saying about silver. The target in silver is 50. Why? Because it's a previous level we've never been able to defeat. But the target, the objective is here so that we can actually defeat this. Because it's starting at higher lows than we did from this last rally, I believe that we can blow through the 50 target. That's just from a technical aspect. From the fundamentals aspect, the Feds can't do nothing but print money. So because they have no other choice but to print money, I am super bullish on silver and gold. And so even though one may say the price is too high, well, if the price is too high, you think that the price is too high, well, there's not enough supply, right? The reason why we got in here at this level is because when I was actually out, my social indicators, meaning that you're at the gold and silver shops, you're at the pawn shops, and you can't get your hands on the stuff, supply and demand. So that's the fundamentals. So this is why we're so bullish on it, right? And so you have some so you can't listen to everybody. Listen to what I'm saying. You can't listen to everybody. I don't care who they are. You do your research, right? Let me tell you why. You have some people that are really upset because they got in at silver back in the day right around here. And then it came down and it was holding it, hoping it was going to keep going, and it didn't. So it fell. So when it hit this level, they have been negative. They have been very upset about silver ever since then because their timing was wrong. They're still negative, still negative. So when we hit these high levels up here, you're looking at people that's finally breaking even, that's been holding on for so many years. They're ready to get the hell out, right? But their story is not your story. Their journey is not your journey. We identified the lowest point. In my videos I showed you guys, I don't know why the video isn't even viral. It's crazy, right? Because we hit this target perfectly. Right? We hit this target perfect. We got in here. Boom. I mean, you look at it. Look at it. Over 100%. This is crazy. So you can't listen to everybody, even if they're old school. A lot of these guys don't even understand why. You have some situations with gold led, silver led, gold led. Like, who knows? The past is no indication of what is happening in the future because we're dealing with different economic, phenomena this time. So it is much different than those times. The Federal Reserve had lots of interest rates to cut down. I'm not even going to bring the chart up, but they normally need 5% of interest rates to stimulate the economy, right? This is what I've been telling you guys when we were predicting, when I wrote the article predicting the whole, crash and everything, is because they didn't have 5%. When Trump took office, they could only get up to 2.5%. That's all they can get up to. So they had to cut immediately. Already at zero, and then possibly may go negative, right? And so all of that is bullish for this story here, for the technicals. I mean, this pretty much is going to go up. Now, it's pulling back right now, and one of the reasons it's pulling back is because of the dollar. So right now, let's go to UUP. Just take a look at the dollar. Go back. All right, so this is the dollar. If I pull a side-by-side chart up, as I've done in the past, you'll see, well, the stock market has rallied and gold has rallied because the dollar has gone down. Now, what's interesting that we have to watch coming into these weeks is if the dollar will hold this support zone. Okay, I mean, it's already pretty much oversold, and so we may get the dollar to kind of try to hold up a little bit. As I go into the daily, we're seeing that it's starting to try to hold up. All right, it held up his floor. It gapped up right here to the mean. Now the question is, can it breach the mean and come back up? Right. So if the dollar goes up, this is the key. If the dollar goes up, gold is going to go down, and that's just the way it's going to be. But if it gets suppressed even further and goes down, then you're going to see gold and silver continue to go. All right. All right, cool. So with that being said, let's take a look at a couple of stocks here, a couple of plays. This past week, man, the Russell was looking really good. I was actually feeling the Russell. So let's plug in the Russell. All right. The Russell's actually doing pretty good. These, again, domestic stocks, looking pretty good in here. The chart itself is bullish, trading above all its moving averages, of course. We got, target right up here, target right up here, first target, second target right in front of you. And I believe that, we can see that happening right in there. All right. So the Russell, I'm still favoring the Russell right now. In fact, in the chat on the website, we were plugging in on Nike. So again, this chart here is still looking really nice and bullish. Of course, got a couple of buy triggers that's in there, right? Let's go here. A couple of buy triggers that's in there right there. Bingo, bingo. You got triggers here. Look at the momentum sliding up. You got a nice squeeze right in here. The trend is going up. Bingo. This is where we're going. So this is another bullish play I like. Nike. What else? Okay, let's get popping on Google. So Google is an interesting one here. You know, you got this this play right here where Google is looking like it's going to try to make another leg up. Now, this is the floor right here at the 50. You can see how well it held right here at the 50, and it's starting to bounce. So you actually look and see that price is starting to, creep above the 21. When it does that, bingo, you go in there. So we got, buy trigger in here, squeeze in here. So technicals are looking pretty good on Google as well. Facebook had a nice week last week as well, and Apple did as well. I saw y'all get off on that. So that's good. I think that's pretty much about it. I know, was it Jonathan called a playoff in Amazon? Let's see. Amazon is another curious one. Right up here, let me just see. Right up here at the 2618, I left this target in here before because you can see how the price has been behaving. They're constantly getting rejected, but those lows are now getting higher, right? So higher lows. So it's compressing. Obviously, we have a squeeze in here. Trend is moving up. The question is, can the squeeze fire long in here, or do we face further rejection? Do we move into something kind of like what happened in Tesla this week, right? Do we see Amazon squeeze in, a lot of money start to pour in, and then bingo, drop it on his head? I don't see a story for that. So I'm leaning to the long side, but you need to wait for your buy triggers to get in. But I still like this, and I think that tomorrow we should get some kind of confirmation tomorrow. I'll be more likely looking at this in a PM session, and then or coming in early on Tuesday. So, but this is a play that Jonathan was calling off in the group, in the chat. So again, I like that as well. Also, Warren Buffett, right? So Warren Buffett was actually buying stocks. Again, y'all know Warren. He's been on hold. He bought, I want to say, a rack of stocks back in Berkshire. And then Bank of America as well. And so I show you guys this. This is on this right here. This is again, and this print is all over the financials, right? So the financials, yes, the financials are looking good, right? And I think that with Warren Buffett stepping in, he's the big dog. Everybody's following Warren Buffett in right now. He could be wrong, which he has been wrong, of course, but just take a look at here at the technicals. What I see is that this is clear level of resistance right here at the 200 where it intersects with the 618. So we can see that it's a counter trend, right? So it's coming in here at this zone, but we got, at least to this zone here, but I think that we can blow through it, at least to the 618, right? So this is the story on Bank of America, but it actually came up on my radar, not even because of the Warren Buffett situation, but just because of the unusual options activity. So I'm gonna show you guys this real quick. This is something that I do use as well in my analysis. But if you see, this is the expected move, right? 2.9, you could just round that up to about $3, right? So that's about, $30 pretty much. Okay, so we know what the expected move is in the next 40 days. We know it's going to move up or down, at least in that kind of in that move. That's the expected move, right? Now we know sometimes they move beyond the expected move, which is great. Normally the squeezes, when we talk about our squeeze setup, it actually, when it fires long, it actually gives us greater than expected moves. So those plays, they play out really, really well. Okay. Now with options, you have so many different ways to play options. That's why I say you can't just be listening to everybody, because some people are old school in their methods. They're stockholders and they're using options for defense, right? They're not using it to generate income the way we are. So you can't be listening to those guys because their objective is different. We're trying to make some money here now, right? And we know our plays. If you haven't got the courses, make sure you get the courses and make sure you go through the courses and complete it. Even if you're an old school member, I advise you to go back through the new courses because we redid everything. So I alleviated a lot of issues that was from the past one. I had time to actually make it better. So anyway, so check that out. So anyway, this one here is an unusual option activity that showed up on my radar. And if you take a look at this here that stands out like a sore thumb, right? The stuff that I look at, you can just quickly go to it and you can just see it. You're like, oh, I can just see what's going on here, right? So 37,000, the volume is higher than everything else on the chart, right? And you can see that here, okay? And then you see you got the 70,000 right here. Okay, so 70,000. Look at that interest, the open interest. This is how many contracts is open, right? That's huge volume in here. So what is it that people see or know that we don't know, right? I think a lot of it is them coming in because Warren Buffett has came in, right? And if you pay attention, we already saw what the expected move is. Here you go right here at the 30 strike. So that's the 30 strike. So the belief is that these people are betting that this stock is going to go from that to here, and they're going to make money within 40 days. That's all that is. Now, what's the cost of this whole trade, right? If you buy the long call, and again, this right here, you know, $18 is $18, right? So what are you hurting? You know, if you lose $18, are you going to jump off a bridge? Right? I mean, people spend so much money on lottery tickets, right? This is $18, okay? Play it like you're playing a lottery ticket, right? I mean, that's something that you can do. I'm not saying that you should, but I'm just saying if the worst case scenario that happens to you, you lose $18 for this play. The best thing that happened to you is that the profit potential is unlimited, okay? And you can stack this up and make it however you want. Now, I don't actually do the out of the money calls. So I would actually go in and do all you got to do is you want to know which one am I going to actually trade, right? Which one I'm going to trade. Look at the open interest in the volume, right? So we just showed you 70,000 over here, but there's another strike that's more. It's got 89,000 right here, right? It's got lots of volume, lots of open interest. So it's lots of people that's playing the 25 strike, right? And the cost, of course, is going to cost you more, right? About $1.86. I mean, $186, right? But it's higher probability. So they're paying with a higher probability, and the Greeks are going to work in your favor better than down here. But at the same time, this thing just need to move up. And so for your $18, you go up to there. So this is the situation I was actually telling you guys about on the Facebook group, is that it was only $18, right? And the move is a play off of Warren Buffett. Will I risk $18 to follow Warren Buffett? Hell yeah, that's Uncle Warren Buffett, B. And look at everybody else. That's what they playing, right? I mean, of course, we got activity way up here. So obviously there are lots of people, or lots of contracts that's open up here at the higher zones, but not that much, right? This is where we're seeing the action at right here at the 30 target. So that's stuff that you can play, right? That's stuff that you can see, you got 40 days. So theta is not going to eat you up that bad. All right. And theta is really not even really working at this level. So anyway, just go back through the Greeks classes and you'll see what I'm talking about with the Greeks and stuff like that. But that's a setup that, it's $18 that you're risking to have an unlimited profit potential. Obviously, you're not going to make an unlimited amount of money, but you can make some sizable, gains in here, risking the smallest amount of capital if the worst case scenario happens, right? So anyway, that's that setup. All right. So I'll just show you guys that real quick. Also, actually, let me actually pull up this copy of the Trading Journal, right? I know John was asking about the Trading Journal. I don't know if you guys got the Trading Journal or not. But this is actually pretty simple to actually use, just give you guys a quick little demo on this real quick. What I do is we spread it out a little bit here. So what you do is you just type in the account that you're trading from. Some people have multiple trading accounts. And then you will type in the symbol, right? So say in this case, we're using Bank of America. You can actually click the drop down in here and you can say, hey, we're going to pay a debit, right? And the strike price on the one that we want to do is 25. So we'll just put this in here. This is just to capture data. So you type in all of that in there. And let's say that we're actually going to get in today, right? So I'll just put that in there. And the expiration date on this, the next expiration series is September 18. Okay, so September 18. So all you do is click down. You'll scroll down to the 2020 series. All right, and then you'll just click into September 18, the expiration series. How many contracts you're going to choose, right? I was like one contract, right? And I believe it was like $186 is what it was. Okay, so say 186. You just type in the trade price that you execute your order in. Bingo. And then the entry notes, right? You just put in whatever you want. I'm going to say Warren Buffett setup, right? or trade, Warren Buffett trade. I'll just type in whatever I want. This is for you to go back and track yourself, because the journal is going to help you to, become a better trader. That's what it's for. Okay. And then you don't need to really put anything else in here except for when you get ready to exit. So that's why in this section here, let me just show you. In this section here is the exit section, right? So it's the exit. When you get ready to exit your trade, that's when you start plugging in the information from there. Okay, cool. So now that you understand that, then you'll scroll over here and give yourself some more data inputs about your trade so that you can learn from your trading. So we're going to click loan call in here. Where did we get this source from? Listen, you can click down wherever you got your source from, right? In this case, Wall Street Jackboyz. Cool. And our bias, we have a bullish direction on this setup, right? And then what kind of trade category? Well, I'm going to just say it's a swing trade, right? We plan on being in it for a couple of days. And what do we make our analysis at? Off the daily chart. Cool. And the setup that we're looking at, excuse me. We'll just go with the trend. Okay. And when you exit, you'll just put in what did you use to exit the trade? Why did you exit the trade? And as far as how much money we spent on the trade, I like to actually put in the whole total cost. That's enter and exit. So it's like 65 cents, a piece. All right. And so then what you do is when the market is open, right, you got this data in here and you can track your profit targets by looking at your bid and ask price off the contract that you traded. So in this case, I had the 186 strike, the $25 strike here, right? The 65 deltas. As this is moving up or down, whatever the market price is, which we got right here, you would plug that in there so you can track your profit potential, right? I mean, or your profit if you were to realize the profits right now, right? So in this case, let's just say this thing is at $1.90. When you click that in, you'll start to see some data compute. It'll really let you know how much money you make and net your fees, right? So you say, okay, because I mean, you're looking at it and you're like, okay, well, I made $4. Well, really, you didn't. You really had $2.70 because of your commissions when you exit the trade. That's how much you're gonna make, right? So bingo. So as the stock is actually moving, say this thing start to move up even further, you just put it in here. Now, a thing that I like to do is I like to sometimes manufacture where I'm going to exit at. Sometimes I can say, how much money do I want to make on this particular trade, right? So let's just say in this case, let's say, let me go down a little bit. Right. So if I want to make $100, right? So say I want to make $100 off this particular trade. What I'll do is I'll just go in here and there we go. So about $2.86. All right. So I'm just playing with my mark price. I know that for me to get $100 out of this trade here, actually, I need to make sure I compensate for my commissions, right? So compensate for the commissions, B. All right. So $2.89 is what this is going to tell me where I need to get out so that I can make my paycheck, right? Right. So 103, but minus commissions, I'll be at about $100. So if I'm getting in, I'm buying it at 186. I want to make $100 and get out of this thing. Cool. I know that 289 needs to be my target. So what I'll do is when I enter the trade, I'll go in and I'll set my exit order, knowing that I want to get out at this price target. So sometimes I'm not even using the charts. I'm using how much money I want to make today. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Like if you can choose your paycheck is what I'm trying to get to, right? When you use the journal, it'll help highlight that type of stuff. And if you say, well, I mean, that's not enough money for me, right? Well, my man, Terrence like to play with big dollars, right? So Terrence, he from College Park, right? He from ATL. So he would throw some risk on here. He ain't playing with the little one single contracts. Terrence say, man, let me get 10 of those, right? Bingo. All you got to do is execute the order with 10 contracts. Now you're looking at $1,000, right? That's right. So you can actually engineer, your paycheck. That's what I was trying to tell old school in the group with options. Again, some people are using it for old school ways to hedge their portfolios. So we're here to generate income, right? We're not buying and holding those stocks like that. And if you are, then you need to, protect yourself. So his strategies are different. So you can't be listening to those kind of people because that's not your objective. All right. Anyway, I just want to show you guys that. And then also you'll be able to check out your gain and percent losses, like right up in here. So you say, hey, if I want to exit at 50%, again, you can go in here engineered so that you can see what a 50% target would be like on this particular trade, or if you have an 80% target or what have you, right? So you can see all of that and you know where to get in and get out of your setup. All right. So since I got this up here, I'm gonna just show you guys something else real quick. All right. I'm gonna show you something real quick here. All right. Also, you have this the strategy P&L. So this is going to tell you which strategies that you make your most money in, right? With this long puts, that's where I'm making my most money at. So as a trader, this may help you to identify your strengths and your weaknesses, right? You're going to stay away from stuff that you're not doing good at, all right? Because you can see where you're getting your most bang for your buck, that's what you need to stick with. That's what's going to work for you. So whatever that strategy may be, and I got all the strategies down in here, all right? So whatever that strategy may be down in here, once you start to plug in this data, it's going to highlight it and you're going to be able to see yourself. So trading is a self-mastery thing. It's not about copying somebody. It's not about copying me or any other guru. You got to figure out what is going to work for you. So the trading journal is going to help you to figure that out. Also, here it's going to tell you which symbols you trade, the best. So if my man Jonathan, if he making all this bang off of Amazon, you're going to see it. You'll see it right here, right? Like you see how this is at EOG, this is Alibaba. I can see which symbol do I trade the best. If I can predict this symbol better than I can predict this symbol, I'm going to stay away from that symbol here and I'm going to stick to what is working for me until it no longer works. So this helps you maximize your strengths and mitigate your weaknesses. Same thing on your worst symbols, right? You can see your worst trades, right? Which one am I doing the worst at, right? So you'll be able to see that also, right? So as you start to fill in more trades, you'll start to see that the symbols will start balancing out. Since we don't have that much data, they're not balancing out yet. So you'll see them crossing. But once you start doing enough trades, you'll start to see them balance out where you won't see them, crossing over on each side of this chart right here. So, cool. Then you can see, again, top strategies, percentages, and worst strategies and things like that. Also, you can type in your notable events. You know what I'm saying? So, anything that, you just want to cross-reference. All right, bingo. I can come back in here. What happened on this day? Well, type in Trump, did a stimulus. What I say? What do you do? Sign executive orders, right? Trump exec orders, stimulus, right? Bingo. So that's just so I can remember what happened at this time. So when I'm going back through my trades, I can see all of that. Also, the goal tracker, you guys check this out as well. In the goal tracker, you set your paycheck, like how much money you want to make, and you do it on a monthly basis, right? So you'll come in here, you basically set your paycheck on, whatever months you want. All you got to do is type in how much money you want to make right here. So if it's blue, that means that you can change it. If it's not blue, you cannot change it. So you'll see it when you guys get the trading journal. If you say, hey, I want my goal to be $250 a month. Well, okay, that's what it is. If you say you want it to be $2,500 a month, type it in. Simple as that. That's what your goal is. So this is a goal tracker. You set your monthly goal just like that. And you'll come up here as the months shift and change. You want to make sure that you update your months here and select month. As the years change, you can actually update your years here. This right here is going to tell you your yearly goal, right? So you don't have to plug anything in here. All you need to do is plug in what you want to make. And it's going to tell you how much money that you're trying to make this year. All right. For whatever year that you're in. All right. So I like that. That's pretty cool. And when you actually see that you've hit your goal, when you've actually hit your goal, this is a tool, especially Justin, you already know this is a tool to help, experienced traders to stop over trading. So over trading, always get the experienced traders. You start trading like all day. But if you already hit your target, okay. All right, Justin, chill out, relax. You don't hit your target. All right. So let's just relax. You don't have to trade every day, because that would be your poison once you start to get experienced. And then you just jot over here in the notes, you know what I'm saying? What worked out for you? What didn't work out for you, right? So I'll just type in here what worked out for me in the month of August. Once I recap on what happened in the month, right? So I'm like, what went right? Well, geez, my long call strategies worked out for me. What went wrong? Well, my debit spreads didn't work out well for me, debit spreads. So this is just all mental notes. It helps you to master yourself. So understand that. Trust and believe me, man. Everybody on YouTube and everybody selling whatever they're selling, they're selling their lifestyles. You know what I'm saying? They're selling, I'm a multi-millionaire, blah, blah, blah. Many of their students don't even make it, right? And so that's why a lot of people quit before they even start, because they like, oh, I'm gonna go into trading so I can buy me a Lamborghini. Well, that's not realistic, right? So you just want to make sure that you have to do what works for you. And that's what the trading journal does. It helps you to figure out what works best for you. All right. So I just want to show you guys this so that you can, take advantage of this. This is actually on the website as well. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and bring this to a close because we're already at time. But I see you guys in the chat room. Any questions, get it popping in the chat. All right. So I'll catch you guys in the chat in the morning. Peace.